The American West, a land of vast beauty and untamed wilderness, yet in recent years a new image has emerged, raging infernos and apocalyptic skies. The frequency and intensity of wildfires have reached unprecedented levels. Millions of acres have been scorched, communities displaced, lives lost. These fires are a stark warning, a symptom of a planet grappling with a changing climate. We must understand the forces at play and our role in this unfolding crisis. The flames may be the most visible manifestation, but the true enemy is often unseen: climate change. The Earth's climate is changing at an alarming rate, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels. In the American West, the impact is particularly pronounced. More frequent and severe droughts, erratic rainfall, and diminishing snowpack create a tinderbox-like environment. Warmer temperatures dry out vegetation, making it more susceptible to ignition. Human activities also play a significant role in igniting and exacerbating wildfires. Decades of fire suppression policies have led to the buildup of fuel loads in forests. Addressing the wildfire crisis requires a multifaceted approach. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is essential to mitigate long-term risks. We must also adapt to the changing reality of a warmer, drier West. Controlled burns can reduce fuel loads and prevent catastrophic wildfires. Developing more resilient communities includes creating defensible spaces and updating building codes. Education and public awareness campaigns are essential. The time for action is now. The American West has always been a land shaped by fire. Natural fires play a vital role in maintaining forest health. However, recent wildfires are larger, more intense, and more destructive. Droughts exacerbated by rising temperatures create tinderbox conditions. Strong winds can carry embers for miles, igniting spot fires far from the original blaze. The warming climate is creating conditions conducive to large, intense wildfires. This is a global phenomenon, with wildfires increasing in frequency and intensity worldwide. Human activities play a significant role in the wildfire crisis. The vast majority of wildfires are ignited by humans, either accidentally or intentionally. Common causes include escaped debris burns, equipment use, and vehicle sparks. Arson is another significant cause, though difficult to quantify. Firefighters risk their lives battling these blazes. Communities face the prospect of losing their homes, livelihoods, and even their lives. The psychological impact on survivors can be profound. For much of the 20th century, wildfire management focused on aggressive suppression. This approach allowed fuel loads to build up in forests. The warming climate and prolonged droughts have created the perfect storm for megafires. We need to restore a more natural fire regime to our forests. Climate change has fundamentally altered the equation, making wildfire management more challenging. The increasing frequency and intensity of wildfires are stretching resources thin. We need new strategies and technologies to adapt to this changing reality. The immediate aftermath of a wildfire is a scene of profound devastation. The loss of wildlife habitat is immediate and visible. Forests, grasslands, and wetlands are transformed into desolate wastelands. Some animals escape the flames but face an uncertain future. The loss of biodiversity weakens the overall health of the ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystems are also significantly impacted. Ash and debris wash into streams and rivers, choking aquatic life and contaminating drinking water sources. The smoke from wildfires impacts air quality and public health far from the source. Tiny particles in wildfire smoke can trigger respiratory problems. Children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions are particularly vulnerable. Hospitals see a surge in emergency room visits during intense wildfire activity. The haze can disrupt daily life and have social and economic consequences. Wildfires can alter the hydrological cycle, affecting water runoff. Burned areas are more susceptible to erosion, impacting water quality and aquatic life. The landscape of the American West has always been shaped by fire. Recent wildfires have left behind a transformed landscape. The loss of vegetation cover has cascading effects on the landscape. Soils are vulnerable to erosion, leading to landslides and mudslides. The ecological impacts are profound and long-lasting. The economic costs of wildfires are staggering. The increasing frequency and severity of wildfires are straining firefighting resources. The human cost of wildfires is often measured in homes lost and lives disrupted. Behind these numbers lie stories of heartbreak and resilience. For those in fire-prone areas, wildfires are an ever-present reality. Evacuation orders force families to make split-second decisions. The uncertainty is palpable. Will their homes be spared? Will they have anything to return to? The trauma of evacuation can be profound. The loss of one's home is emotionally devastating. Community bonds are tested but strengthened in disaster. Neighbors help neighbors, offering support and shelter. First responders work tirelessly, putting their lives on the line. The aftermath is a time of loss but also resilience. Communities come together to rebuild and support each other. The outpouring of support is a testament to the human spirit. The economic impact of wildfires extends far beyond the immediate costs of firefighting and property damage. Entire industries, from tourism to timber to agriculture, can be devastated by these infernos. The ripple effects are felt throughout the economy, impacting jobs, livelihoods, and the financial well-being of communities, both large and small. Tourism, a cornerstone of many Western economies, is particularly vulnerable to wildfires. The stunning landscapes and recreational opportunities that draw visitors from around the world are often the same areas most susceptible to wildfires. When fires close national parks, shut down hiking trails, and blanket scenic vistas in smoke, tourists stay away, costing businesses and communities millions of dollars in lost revenue. The timber industry, too, faces significant challenges in the wake of wildfires. While some salvaged timber can be harvested from burned areas, the loss of mature trees can impact timber supplies for years to come. The costs of reforestation are substantial, and the time it takes for new trees to reach harvestable age can strain the financial viability of timber operations. The agricultural sector is also vulnerable to wildfires, particularly ranchers who rely on grazing lands for their livestock. Fires can destroy vast swaths of pasture land, forcing ranchers to find alternative sources of feed or sell off their herds prematurely, often at a loss. The economic impacts of wildfires are not just a concern for rural communities. The costs of firefighting, insurance claims, and disaster relief efforts place a significant burden on state and federal budgets, diverting resources from other essential services. As wildfires grow more frequent and intense, so does the uncertainty about the future of the American West. Once symbols of permanence, these landscapes now seem fragile. This uncertainty weighs heavily on residents, casting a shadow over their hopes and dreams. The psychological toll is immense, manifesting in anxiety and stress. Yet, amidst this uncertainty, there are glimmers of hope. Communities are embracing proactive fire management and working together to create a resilient future. The years 2024 and 2025 will forever be etched in the annals of the American West as a time of unprecedented wildfires. From Oregon to California, relentless infernos left a trail of devastation. Drought-stricken forests became tinderboxes primed for ignition. The numbers tell a sobering tale. In 2024 alone, over 10 million acres burned. Thousands of homes were reduced to ash, and countless lives were upended. The economic toll was staggering, with billions in losses. Beyond statistics lay a deeper tragedy, the loss of natural treasures and communities. Fires like the Bootleg, Dixie, and Caldor consumed millions of acres. Each fire left behind a scorched landscape that will take generations to heal. The smoke choked the skies, turning day into night. Air quality reached hazardous levels, forcing residents indoors. The impacts were felt far beyond the West, reaching the East Coast and Europe. On November 8, 2018, a firestorm swept through Paradise, California, killing 85 people and destroying nearly 19,000 structures. It was the deadliest wildfire in California history. The Camp Fire was a tragedy of epic proportions. Similar tragedies have unfolded across the West, fueled by climate change. The destruction of Paradise was a wake-up call. It exposed flaws in emergency alert systems, highlighted evacuation challenges, and underscored the need for resilient infrastructure. In the aftermath, there was a sense of urgency to prepare for wildfires. new building codes were adopted, requiring fire-resistant materials. Early warning systems were enhanced, and evacuation routes improved. But the threat of wildfires looms large. The lessons from Paradise and other wildfires are about improving emergency response, addressing climate change, and rethinking our relationship with fire. As the climate continues to warm and droughts become more frequent and severe, the threat of wildfires is only going to increase. The American West, once a symbol of rugged beauty and untamed wilderness, faces an uncertain future, one where fire plays an ever-increasing role in shaping the landscape and defining the human experience. The question is not whether there will be more wildfires but how we will adapt to this new reality. The traditional approach to wildfire management, aggressive suppression at all costs, is no longer sustainable. We need to embrace a more nuanced approach, one that recognizes the ecological role of fire while also protecting human lives and property. This means allowing some fires to burn, carefully managing others, and working with communities to create more fire-resilient landscapes. It also means investing in research and development, exploring new technologies and strategies for fire prediction, prevention, and suppression. The challenge is immense, requiring a collective effort from individuals, communities, and governments at all levels. But amidst the ashes of past fires, there is hope. There is a growing awareness of the problem, a willingness to challenge old assumptions, and a commitment to finding solutions. The future of the American West may be forged in fire, but it is also being shaped by the ingenuity, resilience, and determination of those who call this land home. The path forward will be challenging, but the stakes are too high to do anything but rise to the occasion. The physical scars left by wildfires are undeniable, a stark testament to the destructive power of these infernos. Charred forests, blackened hillsides, and the skeletal remains of homes and businesses serve as constant reminders of the devastation wrought by these events. Yet, as profound as the physical damage may be, it is often the unseen scars, the emotional and psychological toll on individuals and communities, that run deeper and take longer to heal. The loss of a home, a place of safety and security, can be emotionally devastating. For those who have lost loved ones in wildfires, the grief is immeasurable. The trauma of evacuation, the uncertainty of displacement, and the long road to rebuilding can leave lasting emotional scars. The psychological impact of wildfires extends beyond those directly affected by the flames. First responders, who witness firsthand the destruction and human suffering, often carry the weight of those experiences long after the fire is out. Residents of fire-prone areas, living with the constant threat of wildfire, may experience anxiety, stress, and a sense of helplessness. The road to recovery from wildfires is long and arduous, requiring patience, resilience, and a deep wellspring of hope. It is a journey that involves not only rebuilding homes and businesses but also restoring communities, fostering emotional healing, and rediscovering a sense of place in a landscape forever altered by fire. The process of recovery is as much about rebuilding lives as it is about rebuilding structures. It requires addressing the emotional and psychological needs of survivors, providing access to mental health services, and fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. It also requires acknowledging the long-term impacts of wildfires on the environment, working to restore ecosystems, protect water resources, and mitigate the risks of future disasters. For centuries, the prevailing approach to wildfire management in the United States was one of suppression, of viewing fire as an enemy to be conquered. Yet, as we have seen, this strategy has had unintended consequences, leading to the buildup of fuel loads in forests and contributing to the mega fires we are witnessing today. It is time to forge a new covenant with fire, one that recognizes its ecological role as a force of both creation and destruction, of renewal and rejuvenation. This requires a fundamental shift in our thinking, a move away from the paradigm of suppression towards one of coexistence, of learning to live with fire in a way that minimizes its risks while harnessing its benefits. Embracing prescribed burns, carefully controlled fires that mimic the natural fire regimes of the past, is an essential part of this new approach. Prescribed burns help to reduce fuel loads, promote forest health, and enhance biodiversity. They are a valuable tool for restoring ecosystems, creating more resilient landscapes, and reducing the risk of catastrophic wildfires. However, prescribed burns are not without their challenges. They require careful planning, coordination among multiple agencies and stakeholders, and public acceptance. The risks associated with prescribed burns, such as the potential for escape fires and smoke impacts, must be carefully considered and mitigated. In addition to prescribed burns, we need to rethink our forest management practices, promoting thinning and other fuel reduction treatments to create healthier, more resilient forests. This includes removing dead trees, clearing brush, and creating defensible spaces around homes and communities. The wildfire crisis is not just a problem for the American West to solve, it is a global challenge that demands a collective response. As climate change continues to exacerbate wildfire risks worldwide, we must work together to share knowledge, resources, and best practices. This includes investing in research and development, exploring new technologies for fire prediction, prevention, and suppression, and fostering international collaboration on wildfire management. Building more fire-adapted communities is essential for mitigating the risks and impacts of wildfires. This involves adopting stricter building codes that prioritize fire-resistant materials and landscaping practices, creating defensible spaces around homes, and improving community preparedness through education, evacuation planning, and early warning systems. It also means investing in infrastructure that can withstand wildfires, such as fire-resistant power lines and more resilient transportation networks. The future of the American West, and indeed the future of our planet, depends on our ability to adapt to a changing climate, embrace new approaches to fire management, and work together to create a more resilient and sustainable future. The challenges are daunting, but the stakes are too high to do anything but rise to the occasion. By learning from the past, embracing innovation, and working together, we can create a future where fire, once again, plays its natural role in the landscape, and where communities thrive in harmony with the environment. The path forward will be forged in fire, but it is a path we must take together, with courage, determination, and an unwavering commitment to protecting our planet and each other.